We're back here with the SER, and today we're going to be replacing the camshaft sensor. And this is it right here. I bought it off Amazon for roughly 40 bucks. I had gone to AutoZone to originally purchase it, but it was going to turn out to be about $90, and I figured I might as well try online and see if I can find a cheaper one, and I did. 40 bucks and with free 2-day shipping. We're going to go ahead and start up the car and go ahead and get busy. Here we go, cold start. Alright, so now that we have the hood popped open, we are going to remove the engine cover first. To remove the engine cover, you're going to need a 5mm Allen wrench to remove all 4 of the bolts. So once you have removed the bolts and the engine cover, we are going to unclamp this, unscrew this side and this side right here, and we're going to remove this right here. We're going to remove that because the sensor that we are trying to reach to or gain access to is right back there, and it's easier if you just remove this. So once you unclamp this, you're going to want to pull out the hose, pop this off. All you got to do is pull it out towards you a little bit, and then this same way. There we go. Pop it off. Set it to the side just like everything else. So these sensors that we were trying to replace, hopefully you can see it, is that one right there in the center, right there, with the green connector. There is a bolt that holds it in place, and so we're gonna try and unbolt it, and we're going to try and pull it out and disconnect it. So what I'm going to be using to take out the bolt is a 10mm, I believe it's 10mm, yeah, 10mm deep socket, and I believe is a 6-inch extension. So what I went ahead and did is I grabbed the extension, hooked it up to the bolt, that way I could just attach my ratchet and go ahead and start loosening up the bolt. That way I don't have to worry about messing with all these hoses right here and trying to find it with the ratchet still attached, so I just went ahead and did it separately. So once you loosen up the bolt, you're gonna want to be very careful when pulling it out, because you don't want to end up dropping it and losing it, and it's a little small, so might be difficult to find if you end up dropping it somewhere. You could use something with the magnet at magnetic end, that way you don't drop it. Or with me, I kind of have small hands, so I was able to reach in, and as I was pulling out the extension with the bolt at the end, I was able to just grab it and take it out separately. So now we're gonna go ahead and reach in and try and wiggle out the sensor. Go ahead and do that real quick. So unfortunately I wasn't able to record and pull out the sensor with one hand, so what I had to do was pop this little hose off from this little clamp right here, lift it up, stick my hand in right here, one hand, the other hand through the back side, and as I was pulling, the connector disconnected on its own, but I was able to reach the sensor, give it a nice little tug, and it popped right off. And here is the sensor as to what and here's what it looks like. Oh, gotta be careful. Here's the other side, and here is the new one. Old one, new one. So now we're going to do these same steps, just in reverse. So I'm going to go ahead and stick the sensor in there. And there, I believe it goes like this. So you're going to, once again, put it in there. And I'm going to try with one hand, but I don't think I will be able to. Unfortunately, I won't be able to do it with a hand, so I'm going to use both hands and before I put it in, I'm gonna put some of that oil that came out and put it right here on this O-ring. So once you have it in there, you're gonna wanna give it a nice and firm press and make sure it goes all the way in. And hopefully you're able to see it. I'm not able to get a good angle. It's right there, that gray connector. That's the sensor right there, and the green is the connector that will be going attached to it. So once you press it in firmly, you're gonna want to grab your bolt and align it with where the bolt goes, and that way you can start tightening it up. So what I did to guide the bolt in is I put the bolt on the end of the extension, put my hand through here, held the bolt in place while putting the extension through this side, and I help it guide it through. That way the bolt wouldn't just fall off out of nowhere. So now I'm gonna get my ratchet and tighten it up a little bit. So I have now tightened the bolt, and what I'm gonna do now is plug in the connector. I don't know if you'll be able to see that, the connector. Plug it in until it clicks. Once you hear the click, you're good to go. Alright. Sorry if you can barely see. Kind of hard to film with the phone. That's all I got, unfortunately. Alright, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to start putting everything back together, which is going to be putting that back on and then back the engine cover. So you're going to want to attach the boot. Start with this end first and then work your way onto this one. Make sure it's all the way in there. Reattach this hose all the way in. Clamp it. There we go. Alright, and then we're going to tighten those up. And by those, I mean this clamp and this clamp. So now that we've tightened up the clamps, we're going to put the engine cover back on. Put your bolts back in. So first I hand tighten them, and then I tighten them with the Allen wrench. And now that we have the sensor replaced, I'm gonna go take it for a little drive and see how it runs. Hopefully it starts off pretty good. It's gonna be the startup right after changing out the camshaft position sensor, and hopefully it fixes the problem I was having. So we're gonna go ahead and turn it on. All I can say is hoping for the best and say that the problem I was having is fixed. Turned on fairly well. So now we're gonna go ahead and go for a drive. First drive, we're gonna put into reverse. No bucking, so that's good. That's a A++ for me. I'm gonna go ahead and head out. Still having a rough idle, like I said before, due to the vacuum leak. Put to drive, no issue. There we go. Finally getting some movement, so that's good. So far so good. Been driving it. It's shifting properly. Tried the manual mode. It works good now. It goes from, no longer starts off in fifth, goes from first, second, third, fourth, obviously. And so far it's going good. The only issues right now I can think of is, I believe the tires are a little bit low, so those are making a little bit of noise. But overall, yeah, my car is back to operational use now. All I gotta do is I don't know what we're gonna do at this point. Now that it's working properly, all I know is that it feels good to have my car back. Well, pretty much that's it for as far as bringing it back to life. It's no longer a couch potato. Now it's a French fry, ready to go. Mission was a success. Very proud, very happy. So that's the end of this small little journey. Make sure to like the video if you thought it was alright. Hopefully in a couple more videos, my videos will be a little bit more better filmed, better edited. But you know, first timer, it's hard to know exactly what I'm doing. But yeah, so make sure to uh, like it, comment it, see what you think. You know, if I need to improve somewhere, let me know, and subscribe if you want to see more content involving the SER. I know it's a very popular and favored car um, of the VQ cars, of course, besides the 370s and the 350s. But yeah, so let me know what you guys think. Appreciate it. Thanks for watching, and see you later. Last thing before I go, I don't plan on just doing SCR content only. I also have other thoughts and other ideas in mind. So if you want to know what those are, go ahead and subscribe and stick around and see what they are.